What's poppin', dogs? Mr. Allen here with some SAT prep from the calculator portion here. We got ourselves a system of equations. We got to solve for the value of x minus y. The SAT loves to do those kind of questions where they don't have you solve for one variable, but maybe the sum, the product, the difference in this case. All right, so this one is actually set up very nicely for an elimination method style problem, right? Cancel out those y's and I'm just left with x's. But let's just say either it wasn't set up so nicely, right? You got to do a little more work, or you just forgot how to solve a system of equations. There is an app in your TI-84 Plus graphing calculator. So we're going to hit apps. All right, I'm going to go down to number 9. I can just hit number 9 on the keypad right there, and I go into this fancy solver right now. The top one's a polynomial solver. The other one is a simultaneous equation solver. Simultaneous equation, system of equations. I got 2 equations. I'm going to hit enter on that. I've got 2 unknowns, right? We got that guy right there, and then we got our auto or decimal. I'm going to go with auto. It should do fractions for me, right? And then nothing else really to change here. So I'm going to hit next. The way we do that is with the top row of buttons, the Y equals, window, zoom, trace, graph. I'm going to hit graph to choose next. And now I can just type in all my coefficients. 7, hit enter. It's positive, hit enter. Then I've got 3, hit enter. And then 8, hit enter. Next one is 6, enter. We want subtraction now, hit enter. Then I've got 3, enter, and 5, enter. Now I can solve by hitting that graph right in the top row right there. Does those buttons for me. Hit solve, and I get 1 for x, and I get 1/3 for y. So x equals 1, and then y equals 1/3. Now what's the difference of 1 and 1/3? Well, it's going to be 2/3. If you don't remember how to do that, it's okay. 1 minus 1/3. 1 is the same as 3 over 3 minus 1 over 3. Now I have like denominators. 3 minus 1 is 2/3. What's my answer there? Whoop! It is B. That's bussin'. All right. That's awesome. All right. There we go. Boom. Wonderful. Little fancy app in your calculator, or do it by hand the old-fashioned way. Either way works. That's awesome. Good luck on that test. See ya. We got points A and B lie on a circle with a radius of 1. And arc AB has a length of pi over 3. What fraction of the circle is the length of arc AB? Well, if I have a radius of 1 right here, I can find my circumference of that circle using 2 pi r. And now I can take the measure of that arc AB, which is pi over 3, and divide it by that 2 pi to figure out what fraction of the whole circle it is. Well, how am I going to do that? I'm going to write this over 1, and then I'm going to multiply by my reciprocal here. That's official notation for that. Now my pi's are going to cancel. 2 times 3 is 6, so I get 1 over 6. 1/6 of the circle is that arc AB. That's it, and that's dope. In the equation above, t is a constant. If the equation has no real solutions, which of the following could be the value of t? So to determine if a quadratic equation has no real solutions, we can use what's called the discriminant. And if this is less than 0, aka negative, it has no real solutions. Let's rewrite this equal to 0. So I already have my a value and my b value. Just need that c value, which is the opposite of t. So let's try choice A, right? If I had -3 for t, that would make my c value +3. -4 squared is 16, minus 4 times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24. That equals -8. It is less than 0. No real solutions. First choice A. That's awesome. See you dogs later. A customer's monthly water bill was $75.74. Due to a rate increase, her monthly bill is now $79.86. To the nearest tenth of a percent, by what percent did the amount of the customer's water bill increase? Now I can actually set up an equation to help me solve this. So my original times 1 plus whatever that rate is, and if this was a decrease problem, we could do 1 minus that rate, equals my new price. So now we can solve this. I'm going to divide by 75.74 on both sides. I'm going to plug this bad boy in the TI. And I get 1.05439, so on and so forth. So when I subtract 1, I get my rate, which is going to be 0.05439. And they asked for the nearest tenth of a percent. Well, percentage, this is a decimal, I can multiply by 100 or move it twice, and I get 5.439, but 5.4 is the nearest tenth of a percent. My choice here is D. That's dope. We're done. See ya. 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14. What is the value of 8x? Well, let's write out an equation, shall we? We got 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14. So 14 plus 10 or 10 plus 14. I'm going to combine like terms, and I got 24 over here. We still have 16 plus 4x on this side. Now I'm going to subtract 16x. And I could just go about solving for x here, but remember the question is, what's the value of 8x? Well, if I were to double both sides, now I got 8x over here, and boom, we got 16 right here. The choice is C. That is cool as a cucumber. I will see you dogs later. What value of t is the solution to the equation above? Now, not too crazy here, but sometimes we get tripped up when we see some fractions, and these are some easy points you could score if you know how to do it. All right, so I'm going to divide by 2/3, aka multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. Now I have 15 over 4, so 15 divided by 4. I can grid that in on there. It's just be 1, 5, then a slash, then a 4. That's it. That's dope, and we is done. See ya.